Hi there gorgeous, hope you're having a fabulous day so far. If you are new to the channel, I make videos like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so if you'd like to be notified of new videos like this one in the future, please subscribe, and thank you in advance if you do. Today I'm testing out two of Sephora's most expensive liquid eyeliners. These are from Christian Louboutin and Tom Ford. The prices of these will make you fall out of your chair if you're not ready for it. Are you ready for it? Don't say I didn't warn you. The Christian Louboutin eyeliner retails for $75. Tom Ford's eyeliner is $62. So I'm putting these to the test today in a very thorough wear test. I'll show you what they look like on initial application also. I wanted to test these specifically for the purpose of that old mindset that I know a lot of us seem to have. The more expensive a product is, the better it is. Is that actually true? We'll find out here today. These two eyeliners do have a lot of rave reviews, which is the other thing that I found intriguing about them, making me want to try them even more. But we don't mess around here on this channel. I'm going to be completely blunt. I am going to be picky. I am going to be extremely scrupulous with these eyeliners. I'm just going to forewarn you now. And I'll let you know, are they really worth this price tag or not? First one I will use, let's try the most expensive one first, the Christian Louboutin. I haven't tried many makeup products from this brand because personally I feel like they are overpriced. I mean, this is an opinion, obviously. You can feel differently, it's okay. But yeah, I think it's a bit much. Yes, and you're paying for packaging, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a majority of the expense for this product is in the packaging alone. I mean, it's a nice packaging. Okay, so I'm a mom. Many of you know that. I can't help but think of all the bad things that could happen from this. My daughter is starting to put things in her mouth and walk around with them, so you can only imagine. Yeah, no. I have not opened this myself yet, so this is the first time I'm seeing it with you. And that is what it looks like. Swatch it on my hand. You can see how rich that pigment is. It did not feather, it didn't bleed. At this price, it better not. It is a thick eyeliner. You can tell that immediately when you apply it. It's a very rich, concentrated formula, more so than any other liquid eyeliner I've ever used. So we'll apply it on this eye. I will say that despite my not really loving the packaging, I like that, I mean, I kind of like this because it makes it really easy to hold the eyeliner and you have a great amount of control because it's such a huge handle here. Takes a lot more patience to apply this, obviously, because it's not like your regular felt tip eyeliner, but it's very, very pigmented. I haven't had to dip it back into the bottle yet. And I just want to see how long I can go with the initial amount before I have to go back into the bottle. Okay, well, I was able to do the entire length of my upper lash line with the small amount that I took initially. I'm going to go back and add a little bit more here. And I'm doing this more so to sharpen the line, not to apply more because it's so pigmented you really don't need to. Nice application with it, but I have a couple complaints so far. I'm not too fond of the applicator tip personally. It's rather stiff, it's not flexible, and it's hard to maneuver it along the lash line because it is so stiff. The other thing I'm not really too fond of is that it's a glossy finish, and I can see that on my hand here too. See the glossiness of it? I was expecting more of a matte finish. I mean, at this price point, I really was. Very pigmented, okay to apply. Again, not too fond of the applicator personally, but I'm not a fan of how the formula looks. Next eyeliner I have to test for you is from Tom Ford. This is their eye defining pen in the shade Deep. And this is huge. This is, look how enormous this pencil is. How much do you get? You get 0.03 fluid ounces in here. And just to give you a comparison here, the Milani liquid eyeliner has 0.033 ounces in it. So looks like you're getting more in Tom Ford, but you're really not. And this is a lot cheaper by comparison. With the Tom Ford pen, you do get two different applicators. On this end, it's a much thicker felt tip, and on the other end, it's a much smaller felt tip. And I like that quality because the way that I would do this is I would use the thicker end to line my upper lash line, and then I would use the thinner end to draw a wing on the outer corner. So let's try it like that. Bringing the mirror in a little closer here. Taking that end. Wow, that is going on super smooth. Very easy to make a mistake with it, I must say. I forgot to show it to you on the back of my hand, so we'll do it right underneath the Christian Louboutin. Look at that. It's not as rich of a black as the Christian Louboutin. It's a little lighter by comparison, and if you look between the two, you can see what I'm talking about. But it's still applying very richly, and it looks extremely black. No feathering, no bleeding, and applicators are a personal thing for everyone, like I had mentioned. I like the Tom Ford applicator much better than I did the Christian Louboutin already, simply because I like felt tip applicators better anyway. So I use the smaller end of that pen to create a wing on the outer corner and see how we do. Okay, it's a little stiffer. You can feel the stiffness of that smaller point. But the defining ability that you get with that smaller pen is phenomenal. It's amazing. Now, it's not something that I can't do with a drugstore liquid eyeliner, to be honest with you. I mean, it really isn't. There are drugstore eyeliners that'll do the same exact thing out there. I'm just saying that the applicator is extremely good. The finish with this one, unfortunately, is not a pure matte. It's more of a semi-gloss, so it's not as glossy as this eye over here with the Christian Louboutin, but it still has a bit of a gloss factor to it. And since we have a wing over here, let's go ahead and attempt to do a wing with the Christian Louboutin on this eye. Okay, well, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, and I feel like it's because you have so much control with the bigger handle. So as much as I was opposed to this packaging when I first opened this pen, I'm starting to like more control with it. Based off of what I've experienced so far with these liquid eyeliners, I like the Tom Ford one a little bit better because of the finish and the ease of use with the applicator. That's not to say that the Christian Louboutin applicator isn't easy to use, it's a personal thing, but I really don't care for the glossiness of the finish on this eye. We'll see how they wear throughout the day. On the day that I tested these eyeliners out, I wore them for a straight 13 hours, which is not that long when you consider the price tag of these for that amount of money. 13 hours should be expected. I'm going to show you what my eyes look like up close at the end of those 13 hours. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm talking about, but like I said in the beginning of this video, I am being extremely picky, and I will try to show you everything that I'm talking about. If you look to the side of the Christian Louboutin eyeliner, you can see that it started to break apart on the inner corner of the eye. It's so minuscule, but it did happen, and it also started to crack around the wing and the edges of this eyeliner. And again, I don't know that it's going to come up on camera, honestly, because I had to get really into the mirror myself to see what I'm telling you happened with this eyeliner. And on the Tom Ford side, the same thing was happening. There was a lot of cracking in the eyeliner, specifically on the outer edge of the wing and on the inner corners of the eyes. Neither of these eyeliners bled, they didn't feather, they didn't flake, which was great to see, but they did crack on the inner corners and on the outer corners of the wings. I didn't like the glossy finish of the Christian Louboutin eyeliner. I didn't really care for the applicator. I found it to be rather scratchy. I did like that it had a longer handle, so it was easier to control, especially when I created a wing on the outer edge. That was probably one of the only positive things I had to say about that eyeliner, sadly. I really went into Tom Ford's eyeliner with high expectations, especially given the fact that it had two different tips to choose from, and it glides right onto the skin, and it does give you more of a matte finish than the Christian Louboutin. It's semi-gloss though, so it's not completely matte, so I didn't really care for that. But I expected the Tom Ford one to perform better than Christian Louboutin's. Unfortunately, that was not the case. So I would not recommend either one of these eyeliners, which I'm actually really thankful that I'm able to say that, because I really honestly thought I was going to love these. I did. Obviously, makeup is not a one-size-fits-all. What works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. So take my opinions with a grain of salt. But what I will tell you is that in my experience with these ridiculously overpriced eyeliners, I was not impressed. But it just goes to show you, and this is a perfect example, just because something has a really high price tag to it does not automatically denote high quality. And I can honestly tell you, I had mentioned in a video recently that I was looking for a new liquid eyeliner to try from the drugstore, but I hadn't found one that I really was enjoying. And a lot of you had recommended that I try the Milani eyeliner out. So I purchased this one recently, and I have to tell you how impressed I am with this. Not only does this give you a very rich matte pigment, it's everything that I wanted out of these two eyeliners that I did not get. It does not flake, it will not feather, it will not smudge. It's become my new drugstore favorite. So I want to give a very special thank you to those of you who did recommend this to me. And I'm going to say it again, like I had mentioned earlier in the video, this is the same amount from Milani as you get with the Tom Ford pen. Now obviously you're not given two different ends with the Milani pen, but you're given extremely good quality that will last, that I feel like holds a flame to the Tom Ford eyeliner. So if you're looking for something really spectacular to try that is extremely affordable, I really have been enjoying the Milani one, and I really think that you would too. Don't get me wrong, when a product is highly priced and it is of good quality, I will give it accolades, but in this instance, not so much. If you had a different experience, feel free to share yours below as well. I would love to hear your thoughts on these eyeliners, whether you've used them or not. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I appreciate you being here, and I look forward to seeing you again in another video very soon.